מה יפה היום, שבת שלום. מה יפה היום, שבת שלום. שבת, שבת שלום. שבת, שבת שלום. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Rabbi Bertie Becker. Welcome to Kabbalat Shabbat for Shalom Park. Welcome everyone. Guests, relatives, if you're the first time here, you're welcome. If you've been here many times, you're welcome to join us anytime that we're together. We bring the Sabbath in on page 2 in the Shalom Park booklet. L'chunarana l'Adonai na'ariya l'tzur yeshenu, nikadma fanav b'todah, bizmirot na'ariya lo. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose and meaning. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this Shabbat day fulfills its promise to us. Shiru l'Adonai. Sing to God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth, new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. Page 4. Yismachu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz yiram hayam umlo'o. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth be glad. Let the seas roar and all within it thunder. Adonai malach tagel haaretz yismachu yim rabim. Anava arafel sevivav tzedek u'mishpat machon kiso. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright in heart. Exalt in Adonai, you righteous, and give thanks to God's holy name. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu lahar kodsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Praised Adonai our God, and bow toward God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. On page 6, we receive the Sabbath bride, Kabbalat. We receive the Sabbath bride. Ya la 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 chadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nikabala lechadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nikabala la 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 shamor v'zachor b'dibur chad Ishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shemo tiferet v'liti la 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 l'chadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nikabala l'chadodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nikabala la 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 likrat Shabbat l'chuvenelcha ki imakor habracha merosh mikedam nesucha sof ma'asa b'makshava tehi la 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 chadodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabbalah lechadodi, likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabbalah la 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 la. We rise spiritually or physically to greet the Sabbath bride, our queen. Page 9. Boi v'shalom atad bala gam b'simcha v'zohala toch emunei am sekula boi chala la 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 chadodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabbalah lechadodi likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nekabbalah la 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 la. Please be seated as we continue on page 10 with the psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir, it's good to give thanks to Adonai, to sing praises to your name, to proclaim your love every morning, your faithfulness every night, to the sound of the lyre and the 10-string harp, the music of your lute and your harp. Your works, Adonai, bring me gladness, and of your deeds I joyously sing. Tov lehodot l'Adonai ulezamer shimcha elyon lahagid baboker chasdecha ve'emunatecha ba'elot. Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, la la la, ya la la la. Page 11. Tzadik kadama yifrach yifrach, tzadik kadama yifrach, tzadik kadama yifrach yifrach, tzadik kadama yifrach. Ke'erez belvanon yiskeh, ke'erez belvanon yiskeh, ke'erez belvanon yiskeh, yiskeh. Ke'erez belvanon yiskeh, ke'erez belvanon yiskeh, ke'erez belvanon yiskeh, yiskeh. The Call to Worship, page 13. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of withered leaf, unripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days, lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. We rise again as we are able. Ma'hu'ed Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed. Please be seated. Uma'avir yom umevi laila umavdil bein yom uvein laila Adonai tzvaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch ata Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Praised are you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way in which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sails of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows, and from whom love flows. Ahavat olam, love of the world. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot u'kim u'mishpatim otanu limadta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shokbeinu u'vkumeinu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu v'orach yameinu uvahem negeh uvahem negeh yomam v'layla v'yahavatcha al tasir mimenu l'olamim baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'od al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvish abrecha. Middle of page 19. You shall make for yourself seat on the corner of your garments throughout the ages. The seat are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. As we left Egypt, we came to the Sea of Reeds. We had to have faith that we were being brought out from Egypt for a reason, that reason to serve God. For we had the Sea of Reeds in front of us and the Egyptian army behind us and had to know what to do. Someone had to have faith to enter the sea. Mi chamocha belim Adonai, mi kamocha nedor bakodesh, nora tehilot, o sefela, nora tehilot, o sefela, malchutecha li anu v'amaru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed michamocha v'lim Adonai mikamocha nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot o sefela Nora tehilot o sefela V'nemar kifada Adonai et Yaakov Ugoalo miyad hazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai ga'al Yisrael Michamocha v'lim Adonai Mikamocha Nedar b'kodesh Nora tehilot o sefela Nora tehilot o sefela. Help us, God, to lie down in peace and raise us up to a life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace and guide us with your good counsel. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu l'shalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu l'shalom Ushmor tzeiteinu Uvo'enu l'chaim u'shalom Ushmor tzeiteinu Uvo'enu l'chaim u'shalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu l'shalom Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Eloheinu l'shalom Ufros aleinu Sukkot Sukkot Shalomecha Ufros aleinu Sukkot Sukkot Shalomecha. Page 25. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant us your holy Shabbat as a heritage. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. We rise as we are able for the Hatzi Kaddish to be followed by the Amidah, the conversation with God. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba b'amad divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael Bagala, Bagala, Uvisman Kariv, Vimaru Amen, Yeheshme Rabba Mevarach, Lalam Lamea Maya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Vishtabach, Vitpar, Vitramam, Vitnase, Vit Hada v'et Allah v'et halal shemei de kudusha richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran ba'alma v'maru. Amen. Adonai sfatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, that our mouths may declare your praises. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot, U'Mevi Goel Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shema, B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ufokei Tzara, Atah Kipur Le'Olam Adonai, V'chayei Metim Atarav, L'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, U'Marid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Sohomech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umito Melech, Melech Memihit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanata, V'hachayot Metim. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaMetim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Vayehulu Hashemayim v'ha'aretz v'chol tzva'am. Heaven, earth, and all their beings were finished, and God completed on the seventh day the work that had been done, and ceased upon the seventh day from all the work that had been done. God blessed the seventh day and set it apart, for on it God had ceased from all the work that had been done carrying out creation. Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu, ritzei v'mnuchatenu, kadshenu v'mitzvotecha, v'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha, zabeinu mituvecha, v'samcheinu b'shuatecha, v'tahel libeinu, v'tahel libeinu, le'avtecha be'emet, v'anhileinu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava v'ratzon Shabbat kodshecha, v'yanuchu b'Yisrael mikadeshei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh HaShabbat. When you are overwhelmed by life circumstances, shield us from defeat with your words of promise. And when we are troubled by turbulence in our lives, shield us from chaos and confusion with your reassuring words of Shabbat peace. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses God's people with everlasting peace. Take a moment for silent prayer, your conversation with God privately, meditation, words from the book, words from your heart. Oh, say shalom imroma. Oh, yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael ve'inu. Imaru amen. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Mimaru amen. So this week we begin the second book of Torah, Shemot. In Hebrew, Shemot means names. Or in English, the Hebrew Shemot means names. And in this portion, we're introduced for the first time to Moses. 5 books of Moses. The story of Moses actually begins in the second book. And many things happen in this first story. For one thing, we're introduced to Moses. We're introduced to, or it first recaps the names of the generations before. Then it talks about the birth of Moses, about the children being ordered by Pharaoh to be thrown into the river, and that the handmaidens, Shifra and Puah, did not do that. Moses lived for 3 months with his parents in his parents' household, and then was put into an ark of some sort, a basket, a woven basket, and set down the Nile. And fortunately, Pharaoh's daughter found him and drew him forth from the river Nile. So this story relates to the multitude of prayers that's sent up as we were enslaved in Egypt. And this story is about a multitude of prayers, and also about the prayer for the life of a single child. And so I thought it would be a good one for this week. It's called The Crown of Prayers. It's from the book called Adam's Soul, Collected Tales by Howard Schwartz. After a long and difficult journey to the Holy Land, Reb Nosson finally reached the holy city of Jerusalem. The first sight he sought out was the Kotel, the western wall, that is all that remains of the temple built by King Solomon. No sooner did he enter into the presence of the wall than Reb Nosson realized its level of kedusha, of holiness, was far greater than he had expected. And when he finally stood before the wall, he was amazed to find that every crack in it was stuffed with prayers of the ages. He himself, as was the custom, wrote down a prayer on a slip of paper, folded it carefully, and found a place for it in one of the crevices between the stones of the wall. At last he prayed before the wall and said Kaddish in memory of his departed father, and at the moment he finished praying, a single raindrop fell from the sky and ran down his cheek as if it were a tear. On his return to Bretzlav, Reb Nosson described to Reb Nachman his travels in the Holy Land, and especially emphasized the wonders of the wall. Then he said to Reb Nachman, "But tell me, Rabbi, how is it possible for the Holy One to take into account so many prayers?" And Reb Nachman replied, "To understand how, you must first know the history of the Western Wall. For when the temple was built in Jerusalem, the temple stood perfect in its beauty, and the Shekhinah, the divine presence, descended from the celestial realms and rested upon it. Adonai chose the Western Wall and said, 'The divine presence shall never be removed from the Western Wall.' Since then, the divine presence has rested eternally upon that wall, hovering in hidden and mysterious ways. But when the allies of the forces of darkness tore down our house of glory, may it be rebuilt in our day, the angels on high descended and spread their wings over the wall. And a voice went forth and proclaimed, 'Never shall the Western Wall be destroyed.' And the commander, entrusted with tearing down that wall, backed away and retreated from that place. Later he told Caesar he let it stand so that succeeding generations would be able to gaze upon it and see what a glorious thing Caesar had conquered and destroyed. After the destruction of the temple, a dove was seen to appear over the wall on the eve of Tisha B'Av, a dove among doves, and that dove would appear during the night and join Israel in mourning. Among the people, it was understood that the dove was the divine presence still in mourning over the loss of the sanctuary. But very few have been found worthy of seeing the divine presence hovering over the Wailing Wall, as it is now known. For some time, very rarely, it has happened that an image of a woman clad in black has appeared on the face of the wall, and she has been overheard to say, 'Console yourself, my son. There is yet hope that the children of Israel will be restored to their inheritance, for surely I shall have mercy upon them.' The northern corner of the wall is where the divine presence is believed to have revealed herself, and anyone who stands in that place before those stones and prayers, the prayer flows from the very heart of the worshiper to the Shekhinah herself, who then conveys it to the Holy One, blessed be he. And there are those who say that the Holy One receives those prayers directly, for he stands behind the wall, and from there peers through the crevices and keeps a vigil over the sons of men, seeing, but not seen. You should know too, Nosson, that the prayers in the cracks of the wall are but one portion of the prayers that ascend, which the angel Sandalphon daily weaves into garlands of prayer, which he adjures to ascend as crowns for the supreme King of Kings. For each of these garlands requires 600,000 prayers to form a single crown of prayer for the Holy One, blessed be he, to wear while he sits on his throne. And Reb Nosson asked, "But Reb Nachman, how long does it take for so many prayers to accumulate?" Reb Nachman said, "In the time it has just taken you to breathe in and out, Sandalphon has completed a new crown and given it to the Holy One to wear." Reb Nosson asked, "How is that possible? Surely it would take a day or two to accumulate enough of the prayers of Israel to form a single crown." And Reb Nachman said, "That may be true enough, but you must realize that there are many kinds of prayer. In fact, everything in existence has its own prayer, which it repeats at least 3 times every day. There is the prayer of the rain and the prayer of the golden coin buried in a black box, as well as all the prayers in the cracks of the wall. Then there are the prayers of all the sunsets never seen, prayers closed like sleeping flowers, prayers whose fire is forgotten, whose darkness is not enough. Listen," said Reb Nachman, gesturing towards the window. Reb Nosson was certain that he could hear a multitude of prayer rising up, where before there had been only silence. There is also the prayer of the daughter who waits for the seasons like a tree, her wishes silent, and the prayer of the son who waits for the fruit to fall, for the seeds to break open into the earth. There are the prayers of the angels. The angels take them up together. They fuse to form the crown of prayer they receive in return. But you should know, Nosen, that there is one prayer which in itself suffices to create a crown. And that is the crown which the Holy One, blessed be He, loves to wear above all. And that is the prayer that the newborn child brings with him into the world, the source of prayer. And so we will send up our prayers for healing. May they become a crown of glory for Adonai. Hold in your hearts, say their names out loud. Put them into the chant box of the names of all those that need healing. Misha B'Avotenu Makor HaBracha Imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say Amen. Misha Barach Imotenu Makor HaBracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with Refuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say Amen. Send those thoughts out into the country, around the world, and up into the heavens. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, and for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all of this and more, we offer thanks. Page 39. Please rise as you are able, physically or spiritually. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tei gedula liyotzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 42. And then all that has divided us will merge, and then compassion will be wedded to power, and then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind, and then both men and women will be gentle, and then both women and men will be strong, and then no person will be subject to another's will, and then all will be rich and free and varied, and then the greed of some will give way to the needs of the many. And then all will share equally on the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. Kakatu b'tortach Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz b'yom ha'hu yi Adonai echad u'shemo echad. We think of our loved ones, whom death has taken from us, those who have died in this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We remember at Shalom Park the following names for the coming week: Esther Rubin, Holcomb Austin, Edith Backstein, Betty Dial, Sol Stern, Neil Maring, Florence Medor, Arthur Chapman, Pavel Rips, William Cohn, Doris Tudor, Bernard Siegel, Molly Berkowitz, Dorothy Harvey, Bessie Pitter, Evelyn Holtzman, Kay Brook, Maxine Halpern, Bernice Zellinger, Chester Rosenfeld, Rose Soloway, Concepcion Rios. If there are other names you're observing, either a yahrzeit, if you're still in Shloshim, if you're in your first year of mourning, or if you are in Shiva, please say them now. Kaddish is on page 45. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma di v'ra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chaye chon v'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'galau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah barach la'alam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yit hadar v'yit ala v'yit halal shemei d'kudsha b'richu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, all the people who dwell on earth, ve'imru, amen. We take a moment to light candles and say Kiddush and Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. And Kiddush. The Kiddush is found on page 50 in your booklets. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahavav ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu acharta otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. And the motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. And we finish with Shalom Aleichem, page 48, asking those angels to come and stay with us throughout Shabbat and even into the following week. It would be nice. Let them gather their prayers as they stay with us. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bahuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Zeitchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malchei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful week. I hope your first week of 2021 was beautiful and that it continues that way throughout the year. Happy, healthy one. And I'll see you next Shabbat.